I call this meeting of the Orange County School Board for the Rural Development to order on December 17th, 2020. We ask for the courtesy of the board members and staff that you are participating electronically to please silence your cell phones. At this time, we would like to do a 1-minute moment of silence, and then followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Member Felder, since you are our newest member, would you mind doing the moment of silence and leading us into a Pledge of Allegiance?
Okay. Moment of silence. Okay, you stand, okay? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good afternoon and welcome to the Orange County School Board's Rural Development Workshop. Oh, I'm going to put this down to speak so that everybody can hear me clearly. We do have plexi on each side. I just want to point that out. This has been scheduled today for the purpose of discussing the following technical and targeted rezonings. Ashbury property from Little River Elementary School to Forsyth Woods Elementary School. Heritage Place and Crystal Creek neighborhoods from 80H SW-4 to Freedom High School. And east side of Independence Community from 113 HW4. We actually have names for both of those high schools now. We have that is actually Heritage Place and Crystal Creek neighborhoods to Lake Buena Vista High, or from Lake Buena Vista High to Freedom, and the east side of Independence Community from Horizon High to Windermere High School. Board members are attending in person and or telephonically, so I will take a roll call. Chair Jacobs?
Present.
Member Gallo?
Present.
Member Lopez?
Present, Madam Chair.
Member Colbert?
Good afternoon, Chair.
I am here. Member Felder?
Good afternoon, I'm here.
Dr. Castro Dental?
Good afternoon.
Member Byrd?
Good afternoon.
Great. At this time, the school board will only be hearing public comments on the rezoning of the school's locations aforementioned. Because this is not a regularly scheduled school board meeting, there will be no pre-agenda period in which the public normally addresses the school on germane topics that are related to the work of the school board. Should you wish to address the school board on another topic, please do so at the next regularly scheduled school board meeting on January 12th, 2021. It feels good to say 2021. At this time, I would like to turn it to Deputy Superintendent Maria Vasquez to begin our rural development presentations.
Thank you, Vice Chair Gould and board members. We are ready to begin our rural development presentation. Dr. Carol McGowan will be walking us through the presentation. Board members, we will be looking for direction from you via consensus at the end of each of the targeted technical rezonings so that we know how to move forward. At this time, Carol, Dr. McGowan.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Before we start, let me present staff that's with me this afternoon. To my right is Stacy Neal. Directly behind me is Renata Parapche, and to my left is Dr. Andy Westerman. So thank you for allowing us to come before you at this time. For our viewing public, want to go over our rezoning process. It is School Board Policy JC. There are 8 steps within this policy. Tonight, this afternoon, we are on Rural Development Workshop, which is step 6. We have 3 rezoning types that all follow the exact same policy JC. We have one that we call technical, which is uninhabited land, or it might be inhabited, but there's no students involved in the rezoning. We have targeted, which affects a specific area, and there's a limited number of students involved. We also have relief schools, and that's opening a brand new school, and there are a whole lot of students involved in that one. This afternoon, we are bringing to you 1 technical and 2 targeted rezonings. The timeline for this rezoning was December 2nd. We held our community meeting. Today is our school board rule development workshop, and January 12th will be our public hearing. We set up a way for folks to provide electronic input to us, and these were the survey links, one for each of the rezonings, and you have the spreadsheet of all comments that have been provided to us. Folks could also do a petition, and they could email me. Anything that we have provided to you. At this time, I'm going to turn over the presentation to Dr. Westerman and let him take us through it.
Good afternoon. I'll be presenting the rezoning maps today. The first is a technical rezoning for the Ashbury property that does not involve students. Essentially, we're switching land area and students are not involved in this type of rezone. The Ashbury property is split between Forsyth Woods Elementary Zone and the Little River Elementary Zone. The hashed area on the map shows the Ashbury property, and the yellow area shows the land area to be switched from Little River Elementary Zone to the Forsyth Woods Elementary Zone. Oops. Again, there are no students that currently reside in this area. As of yesterday, responses were, there were no responses from the community regarding this. And there haven't been any more today. Dr. Vasquez?
Thank you. We are ready for the board's discussion.
Do we have any callers on the line or in the room that would like to speak on Asbury?
Vice Chair, we have 2 public speakers, but they're both on the next one, not on this one.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read the public announcement statement right now, just so that we get that done. And then I'll be looking for a recommendation for the board on Asbury. In order to provide governmental transparency as well as reasonable opportunities for the public to access and participate in the decision-making process, new protocols were established to comply with the various emergency executive administrative orders entered by the federal, state, and local government entities, including, but not limited to, the governor's executive orders and the emergency executive orders issued by the mayor of Orange County. The protocols were designed to allow the school board to continue to perform essential functions in the manner consistent with law and board policy while keeping our citizens and employees safe. This opportunity for public to participate in this meeting to provide public comment on the published agenda have been posted on our website and on BoardDocs and are as follows. Public comment via email. Members of the public were invited to provide public comment via email for the school board's consideration at this school board meeting by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, December 16th, 2020. Any emails that were received by that time would have been compiled by OCPS staff and provided to each school board member electronically and/or in hard copy for consideration by 10 a.m. this morning. No emails were received regarding our agenda this afternoon, and the staff sent an email to all board members this morning letting us know. Public comment in person. For those members who have chosen to attend in person, they were to fill out a public comment card located in the lobby outside the school board chambers and turn it into school board services representative. Are there any members of the public who filled out yellow cards? Okay, thank you. And we'll get to that in just a minute. Public comment via telephone. The third method by which members of the public could provide input into any of these proposed policy revisions agenda item is via the telephone. And I know we have a couple of callers. So at this point, is your public comment card for Asbury Park?
No, the public comment card is for Heritage Place and Freedom. So
Okay.
the next one.
Then at this time, I'd like to open it up to the board for comment and discussion. Member Lopez, do you want to lead off our discussion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to ask for the record the reason why we are rezoning this area and and the recommendations from the district, because I know we don't have any resident living in
Right.
that part of the map.
If you'll back it up. There's a a development coming in the hash marked area. What's one before? That's it, okay. There's a residential, there you go. The hash mark area is one piece of property, and it's divided between the two school zones. And they're beginning to start a development coming in, and we always try to have the whole development in one school. And since the majority of the property is in the Forsyth Woods area, we moved everything in that direction. Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Would, Member Lopez, would you like to make a recommendation and for or against this, since it's in your?
I think this is the best way to do it, because we're looking for our students, to feel more comfortable, more welcoming. I don't believe that we can divide any subdivision. It will be more appropriate to have it like that and on time before we really have the units developed.
Great. Yeah, we don't vote today, but we are looking for consensus. So if there is, I see head nods here in the room. Chair Member Gallo, are you in support of this recommendation?
I'm sorry. I apologize. It took me a minute to unmute. Since we're not voting on this, I will certainly agree with the direction and look forward to the upcoming meeting if that's the direction the rest of the board is in
Great.
agreement with.
Thank you. Member Gallo, any comments on this?
Yes, I'm in agreement as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. We can move on to Heritage Place and Crystal Creek neighborhoods from Lake Buena Vista High to Freedom High School, the targeted rezoning.
Okay, the next two areas are for targeted rezoning. The targeted rezoning affects a small area, involves a limited number of students. Heritage Place and Crystal Creek neighborhoods are currently in the new 80H SW4, now known as Lake Buena Vista High School zone. There are 106 students currently residing in these neighborhoods. The yellow hashed area shows the neighborhoods being described in the Lake Buena Vista High School zone. The recommendation is to move this area from the Lake Buena Vista High School attendance zone to the Freedom High School attendance zone. This map shows the resulting zones for each of the schools. The hashed salmon color area switches zones from the Lake Buena Vista High School zone to the Freedom High School zone. This targeted rezoning would keep students living in this area who are zoned for Lake Buena Vista High School next year at Freedom High School.
That's great. Now I call for public comment. Were the two on the line as well for this targeted?
Yes, we have one in-person speaker who is Karen Navas, and then we
Okay.
have one caller as well, both
All
on
right.
this item.
So, Ms. Navas, if you wouldn't mind coming to the mic right over here and providing your comment. Please state your name and address for the record, and then you will have 3 minutes.
Yes, hi. My My name is Karen Navas. I live at 12540 Lynchport Court, Orlando 32837 at Heritage Place. I want to thank you guys for taking your time. I really do appreciate this, that you're taking the time and thinking about our kids and keeping them within their community. So we really are very thankful. I know we probably annoyed Carol a million emails and things like that, but it's so important to us. My biggest concern about this, when we had the survey that we were told to do, even me talking with one parent was confused. She already was going to put a post. I'm like, no. We want to go to Freedom. So it was a lot of confusing. So that's why I came here, because I was worried that a lot of parents will click on the wrong, because they don't read. Some people don't read carefully. So I was concerned about that. But mainly I wanted to thank you guys for doing this. My son is over the moon, that he's going to be able to stay with his friends and his teams and everything. And I know I've talked to several parents, and they're very happy that you guys are doing this for us. So that's what I really needed to say.
Thank you for making the trip here
No
today. We
problem.
really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas.
For the caller on the line, could you also please state your name and address, and you will have 3 minutes to address the board.
We have Hetty Nazario on the line.
Hello,
Hi,
Ms.
my name is
Nazario.
Hetty Nazario. I live at 12724 Winfield Scott Boulevard, Orlando, Florida, 32837. And yes, I want to thank Carol and everyone that's heard us. And poor Carol, yes, we spammed her to death. I'm so sorry, Carol. But our kids have always grown up in this neighborhood. All their friends are in this neighborhood, and they don't want to leave the school. We're so tied to the community. We do volunteerism in the neighborhood. We're in, ROTC, Monticello, cheer, all the sports, all the drama. So, it would just be so detrimental to them to have to leave their friends. So I appreciate you guys doing this for our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in today. Member Colbert.
Thank you, Chair. I absolutely support this, and we talked about this in our work session. Many reasons that this just makes sense. These two neighborhoods really are a part of Hunters Creek and really need to stay at Freedom to provide that sense of community and continuity. And additionally, all of the future growth is in that yellow area that you see, not in this area, so will not hurt Freedom High School. And I want to thank Karen and Hetty and the manner that you all have gone about, addressing your public officials and your school district. You did a great job, and we're happy to support this.
This is an area that Member Colbert and I share, and I am also in support of this. Could we hear consensus or comments from any other board members? Head shaking, I see. Up and down, yes. For board. Chair, Member Gallo, we're just looking for consensus. Of course, we're not voting on this until a later date.
Thank you, Chair. Let me reiterate, I support the direction of we're moving as well in terms of advertising this. Thank you.
Okay. Member Gallo?
I'm in support as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Deputy Superintendent Vasquez, we're ready for the next targeted rezoning.
The final targeted rezoning area involves the eastern side of the Independence community. Currently, the hashed yellow area is zoned for the new 113 HW4 school, now known as Horizon High School, and has 207 high school students residing there. The recommendation is for this area to be moved from the Horizon High School zone attendance zone to the Windermere High School attendance zone. This map shows the resulting zones for each of the schools. The hashed purple area switches zones from the Horizon High School zone to the Windermere High School zone. This targeted rezoning would keep students living in this area who are zoned for Horizon High School next year at Windermere High School. As of yesterday, we have the input here on the screen. Support the targeted rezoning 98, oppose the rezonings 44, oppose splitting the community 30, and oppose going to Horizon High School 31. Dr. Vasquez?
Board, we're ready for your conversations on this final rezoning.
Just double checking, do we have a caller on this?
We do not have any callers or
And-
any in-person speakers.
Great. This is my area, so I press my button. This one is very, very difficult. I asked for this targeted rezoning to be considered because of the proximity of the eastern side of the Independence community is closer to the Windermere High School and the stadium. And there were a lot of things that we do in our normal zoning processes that are taken into consideration to make sure that we're balancing the schools, that we are trying to keep, bikeability and walkability and all of those things. If you look at the results, the majority of those that gave response by a bit, not by a lot, but by a bit, requested that the neighborhood stay together. And I'll tell you, right up until this moment, I have been going back and forth with the pros and cons of both ways. There is a point that we, especially in this particular master planned community of Horizon West, may have to split neighborhoods because we can't plop schools where they would best serve the number of residents in a particular large community like Independence or the master footprint of Horizon West. We have school sites where we have school sites, and we have to do the best. I am not ready yet to make this the precedent of that, though. I believe that it would be better to try to keep the neighborhood together, keep that pattern of services and classes together as much as we can right now. And I would certainly, as the community grows, be willing to relook at this again in the future as we see more and more of the communities come out of the ground. So I want to thank the staff for really putting the time into this. It's such a unique situation with the Horizon West community and where our high schools are located, because as Chair Jacobs can tell you, it was not, we did not have the high school sites designated at the time the master plan was. They came later. So that, all of those reasons, I would not recommend moving forward with this particular targeted rezoning and leaving it the way that we had talked about it in the workshop originally, with the original rezoning between Windermere and the new Horizon High School. So I would like to hear any comments from my fellow board members at this point, or consensus. I have, okay, go ahead.
Will you just clarify, Member Gould, are you in support of what's in front of us, or you're saying that you are not in support of what's in front of us?
I am not in support of moving forward with the targeted rezoning.
Okay. Well, I believe that you know your community best, and I am going to support your recommendation.
Thank you. Yes. Chair Jacobs?
Thank you, Chair. I agree with Member Colbert. I think that was Member Colbert I just heard. I know how hard you work to stay in touch with your district, your community, and I will support your recommendation and direction on this.
Thank you. Member Gallo?
I agree with Member Colbert and Chair Jacobs. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business?
No, ma'am.
All right, that concludes our business for the rezoning process and the targeted and technicals. And with that, I adjourn the meeting.
Happy holidays,
Yay.
everybody.
And happy holidays. I hope it's all filled with love and joy, because we need a lot of love and joy right now.
Amen.